Dick. Dick. I really thought, I was really thinking, hey, how can I start this live stream, right? Really indicate my brand with the first 5 seconds of the live stream. And I think that does it well. Welcome to the Wednesday live stream. We're here. We're queer and we're in gear for an exciting show. And by exciting show, I mean one that will no doubt induce anger on the part of anybody that has even one eye that works correctly. Now, this one is going to be dedicated to a group of people that I've recently found. Well, I haven't recently found them. I've known about them forever, especially going to concerts and going to these music festivals. And I was first exposed to them a couple years ago. And I had to ask around because as a virgin festival goer, I didn't know what was happening, right? I didn't know what was going on. But you could see from the title as to what I'm going to be talking about. And I didn't think that there was a worse group of people than cardistry people, right? Cardistry people are pretty bad. And I would say this is on par with cardistry people in the sense that they're both doing something dumb, right? Cardistry, what do you you're just juggling, right? You're just juggling with playing cards, essentially. So that's what you're doing, but with your fingers and light up gloves, which is the point of what I wanted to talk about here on this particular lesson. If you guys have seen my last live stream, right, you would have known that I went to a music festival in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and was heavily disappointed when the Swedish House Mafia got COVID. They're vaccinated and didn't show, which is okay, I guess. It's understandable. They two of them got COVID. Obviously, you're not going to perform, but find a replacement, right? There's a bunch of people around. Find a replacement. So that's essentially what we were trying to go for, and it ended up being kind of a shitty time. The only people that went were they only went for 30 minutes, and I was drained of my serotonin. I didn't take any drugs. I don't take drugs at all, but I don't take drugs, especially at these festivals. The only thing I do is just get hammered. That's it. I did smoke cigarettes, as I mentioned in the previous video that I put on the channel, which is awful. It's terrible. I don't understand people that do that as a regular habit of theirs, to grab cigarettes and buy a pack. They're expensive as shit, by the way. And smoke cigarettes. Are you retarded? What are you doing? I don't understand what the... Oh, I get a little bit of nicotine. Yeah, all right. It breaches your brain in 7 seconds. But it's not fucking worth it. Tastes like shit. It makes you smell like shit. And it's not a fun experience. So that was definitely enlightening. But yeah, I was disappointed. And we're actually filing a dispute with the credit card company to try to get a refund for that shit show, which hopefully we do, because it was definitely not worth it. And I think I was lied to. I think I was lied to by the producers. Next year is 100% going to be worse because this year, worse than this year because of war. Well, I think it's going to be worse because of a lot of different things. And one of them being Glovers. I forgot what the title of them are, what they call themselves. Let me see. Gloving. So they glove, right? The people that do this glove thing. So it's going to be worse because of them. So they make the world a worse place. Let me make sure that I have at least the fucking section here. Flow arts. Is that what it's called? Flow arts, where you're doing this whole thing, right? This thing, which is kind of ridiculous. But I guess they all tied together to magic and performing arts. You should replace them singing "I'm All Out of Love." You know what? I would have felt better if they would have come out. If who sings that song? I forgot who the fuck sings it, but I would have felt better if they would have come out. I would have felt better if DJ Khaled would have come out. I would have felt better if they put a statement saying, hey, we looked for replacements, but we couldn't find any. But you know what? The festival goers, the festival producers didn't even look. And we did some investigating, by the way. We did some investigating. So we contacted some people that were in... not the pockets, but knows the DJs that were contacted, and the DJs that actually contacted the venue said, oh no, they didn't want a replacement because they said they had something sorted out. So I think that there's some weird money thing going on where the people that did the festival were out here just trying to do a quick cash grab, and we maybe got to the bottom of it. because we reached out to several people that had contact with DJs that said that they offered their services, and the festival said no, that they had something sorted out, that they figured something out, and it turns out they had nothing figured out. So I think it was a cash grab, but it's going to be fine. Thanks to the nice credit card laws that we have here, you could just dispute the charge and get your money back. So thank you, capitalism. Right? Can't do that with communism.
Bing bong.
Would you recommend a Rode Wireless Go mic setup? Well, here's the thing, right? My audio is shit, right? My audio's been awful. And it took me many years to kind of get it to the point where it is. And then even on the stream sometimes, for example, all the previous streams were mono. And today's the one where I fixed it, right? As you could tell, I'm coming in from both your speakers, both your headphones, if you're wearing headphones. So you're hearing my sultry voice on both of that, which I had to figure out again. But I do recommend it. I think the best thing I've ever bought are those Rode mics because they're just so convenient. You put one on top, you put one on your thing, and you're good to go. And you could stand, I think, 70 feet that way, and it's still going to catch the audio. So sorry, my spit came out of there for a hot second. But I do recommend it, Hungry and Hungover. I think it's one of the best things I've ever bought in terms of making. I every time I set up the stream, by the way, as you've seen from the POV shots, this isn't a big place, right? This is a very small apartment. But I hate cables. I want to be the Hitler of cables. If I could abolish all cables, I would gladly do so. If I could send them to camps, I would gladly do that to all the cables because the amount of cables going around and connecting to this, and then I trip on one and 12 things come down, it's not a fun experience. So I wish I could do this setup but without any cables and still not lose on internet or still not lose on the ability to connect in real time. Look at that. There's no lag on this. Everything's in real time, but you can't do that without cables, unfortunately. So I want to be the Hitler of that. And the Rode Wireless Go allows you to not have cables. So you don't have to have cables and worry about connecting this and that. It just goes on top of there, connects to your thing, and you're good to go. And they came out with a new one recently. So I do recommend it. Bing bong. Flow arts are basically different things like cardistry. Look it up. They took the dancing cane and named it the Levitt wand. Yeah, that's the other one. So here's the thing, right? Let's get into the actual meat and potatoes of the actual live stream. So when you go to enough festivals, you're going to see certain people there, right? And I remember a couple years ago, I went to my first music festival, which is Ultra, down here in Miami, Florida, right? Where a bunch of, as my mother calls it, tiki, right? Because it's just EDM music, right? It's just dance music. And granted, I'm not a huge fan of all types of dance music. I only like the gay ballad ones, right? The ones with like the deep female vocals and the ones that sound more like ballads. Because my favorite type of music are like love ballads, essentially. I'm kind of a gay when it comes to that. So any music that has to do with that sort of stuff, I dig. So that's the sort of EDM music that I like. So I went and I see all these guys with the gloves, right? And I'm not realizing that what they're doing is essentially taking advantage of people that are on drugs. So they're taking advantage of the people that are on drugs that see all the streaks, right? So when you're, obviously, if you're an individual that is sober and doesn't have any drugs in his system, if I do this right here, right, with light gloves on, you're just going to think I'm a weirdo. But if you're on Molly, if you're on ecstasy, you're seeing the light streaks. If you're on mushrooms, so the light stays there. So it's a very psychedelic effect. But let me show you what it looks like. It looks exactly like what you would imagine. And the worst part is that it has a name. It's called gloving, right? So these people have come up with a title for this. Let me see if I could show you this website. So look at that, right? Gloving. It's time to glove. Your fingers reimagined. So this website, I looked it up. It's dedicated, I guess, to the competitive art of gloving. So this is kind of a representation of what you would see, I guess, from what I've been told. Is you see the streaks, right? So the streaks remain there. Yeah, Top Notch could probably provide some, I guess, input on this. You seem like the type of guy to be on everything. Have you ever been gloved on, Top Notch? Has anybody ever gloved you, right, and done the gloving? And I hate that they have all these little tricks that they have, like all the little finger flicking fuckeries that they do, which makes it just that much more gay. I'm sorry to use that middle school language, but you know what? It has to. That's the only word that could encompass what this is. So this is, I guess, a competitive website. But this is what it looks like. And the audio is kind of loud here, so I apologize. To be fair, I have mild astigmatism, so the lights are streaky anyways. Yeah, so you get the experience without having to do drugs. That makes it even better, I guess. Maybe because you don't have to resort, or you don't have to have a terrible down or a terrible come down, as I've been told. When you take these drugs, you're like, yeah, woohoo, and then the come down because your body is literally drained of every chemical that makes it happy and able to run for the next, I guess, day, maybe. So this is what it is. This woman is on Molly, which is one of these retarded festival drugs. And look at her reaction to this guy gloving her. Look at that. Right? I hate this guy. Let me lower this a little bit more. I'm sorry. I fucking hate this guy. She has the pacifier. God damn it. This is just terrible. And you see this constantly in these events, right? And I've come to the conclusion that they're worse than cardisters. They're worse than cardisters. I thought cardistry was the epitome of the worst thing you could do in terms of, Hene is calling it flow arts, right? But like this manipulation of objects in a very flourishy way, right? You have people do it with certain things, batons or whatnot. I thought cardistry was the worst. No, this is the worst. I think I'd rather French kiss my dad than be gloved on, right? Than have somebody do this. And I went to another concert maybe 2 months ago, and somebody sitting next to me was getting gloved on. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? Like, what's happening? And this guy's just doing all the moves and all the little tricks, you know, all the crazy shit with the things. And then this is how the person that was being gloved on looked like. They just look like they're not part of it. They're not of this fucking planet. And here's the worst part about this, right? So this is a video that Vice produced, right? Very nice that, by the way, the dislikes. This is a feature that I really like that YouTube implemented. Thank you, YouTube, for making essentially dissenting voices silent and not having people be accountable based on the dislike feature, right? So why not take the button out altogether? This is the illusion of, I guess, the illusion of choice here, right? Because you have this button and then you have this button, but clicking on this button doesn't do shit, right? It doesn't do anything. So it doesn't show anything. It just, you click on it and then the button lights up, right? I've been told that it's the same thing with certain street signs or certain street lights, that the button is there just to give the impression that the person has a choice, because it's all done with sensors and timing anyways. So you pressing that button isn't really going to do much in some of them. But it's the same shit with this. So now, obviously, this video has a lot of criticism in it. Most of the comments are criticizing the way they portray this. And then you can't see that because this is, you don't have the count anymore. That's not fun. I don't like that. I'm not a fan of that. It's very, I would say, you don't have the right, very fascist, I would say, if you want to find the right word. Dude, when you're on mushrooms, you're more open-minded. But I still wouldn't be up for this OJ, Mickey Mouse, Michael Jackson glove bullshit. Thank you. I'm glad that even then, in your most fucked up state, you probably just push these guys away and go, get the fuck out of me. Get the fuck away from me. All right? That's, I hope that that's a thing that you would do if you try to get gloved on. Because here's the thing, right? You know the people that are fucked up because they're the ones doing this thing, right? They're the ones doing this thing. Right here. So you could tell when they come up and they start doing the glove stuff, they don't do it with consent. So you just have these random glovers going up to people and doing this shit and just fucking, I'm not a fan of it. I'm not a fan of that. Never did shrooms at a festival, but at a buddy's bachelor party because someone set up those laser Christmas lights aimed at a giant wall. It was incredible. Well, here's the thing that I realized, right? Because I was sober until I was 27. So imagine being able to drink legally for 6 years at that point. Most people start drinking at like 15, and I started drinking at 27. So I went to a lot of these festivals sober as a rock, and I had very little enjoyment. I enjoyed the music, right? But I was sober. I went to one of them completely demolished, and I had the best time of my life. I was up there just fucking losing my mind on whatever song they were playing. I forgot who was closing out that one, but I was hammered and I was enjoying it. So you have to be on something in order to enjoy these festivals. You can't just be there. Oh man, I'm just here for the music. No, you're a psycho if you're here for the music. So for this one, let's see if let me show you the first part of this video. Right, let me take these up. And I'll show you my favorite comment because it reminds me of the Magic community, this particular comment that I saw here. But this is a Vice documentary on gloving, and it pretty much has the opinion of these people wanting to have gloving as a sport, right? It's like, oh, let's have cardistry as a sport. No, keep it to what it is, something that should be done in a basement, right, away from people. So here's, let's go to that. I hope you could hear it.
Gloving is a kind of rave-style hand dancing that uses multicolored LEDs in the fingertips of white gloves to create trippy light trails. It's difficult to take seriously as an art form or a sport, but that's
that guy was tutting, by the way. Tutting is another one. If you tut, so if you're dropping tuts, right, you should end your existence. I'm sorry, right? I know that goes against the YouTube terms of service, but if you're a tutter, right? If you've ever practiced tutting at some point in your life, I suggest finding an alternative route to the afterlife, right? Maybe. I don't know. Let's see.
Exactly what it's many.
That's a joke, by the way. YouTube terms of service. Every live stream I do, by the way, gets demonetized. And I've been pretty tame with these. I haven't mentioned anything controversial or against the guidelines completely, right? They're within the guidelines that they give you, right? If you make YouTube videos, they give you an option now where you yourself pick all the things that could be controversial about your stream or your video. So when it comes to the retardation, I'm picking all the things and they still says within the guidelines. So then suddenly I'm now demonetized. Okay. All right, YouTube. Makes a lot of sense.
Passionate practitioners are hoping will happen. Bijan Stephen went to the International Gloving Championship in Southern California to see why.
Evan Dallas and Jacob Zakarian have been gloving together for years.
Of course, it's in fucking California, by the way. You know what looks even cooler than these lights on psychedelic drugs? Women. Thank you for that, Top Notch. Yeah, I agree. But not to these guys. Not to these guys. This is the epitome. And of course, again, it's in California.
They're sponsored by Amazing Lights, the biggest gloving apparel company.
Oh my god, this is so hard. I've never seen anyone move their ring finger before their pinky before, though.
I think I might just end a stream after that particular comment. This is a thing, right, that you see often when it comes to these tight niche communities, right, where they shame you for things that are so specific that only people that are in the know would know about it. And in this case, they're shaming this guy. By the way, this guy's saying, oh my God, this is so hard. What's hard about this? Right? Yeah, I guess you're doing it individually, but you could do that probably with 15 minutes of practice. Don't make it seem more difficult or more special than it actually is. The same thing with magic. It's not hard. It just takes a little bit of time, a little bit of practice, but don't make it seem like, oh man, I've spent so many years trying to refine my craft. You could probably have somebody replicate what you're doing in maybe less than an hour. Right, less than an hour of dedicated practice, at least something that you could match with them. So in this case, they're shaming this guy, and they're, oh, I've never seen anyone move the ring and the pinky. Oh, hi-fi, dude. I'm feeling things in my body right now that if I said out loud, I'd be put even further up on the watch list.
Move their ring finger before their pinky before, though. That's weird.
I mean, it's harder than it looks.
Can you explain like how gloving actually works? Like just the basic.
And what I normally explain it to people as is like a form of dance that's more based around your hands, fingers, and arms. Gloving now has moved towards a more dancey aspect, but it really all came from being able to create trails with the lights by having concise movements that look like they didn't stop.
Gloving has taken a very specific set of moves and like dance styles and just expanded and kind of absorbed everything around it.
Some glovers travel across the country.
What? No, dude. You're getting people that are fucked up on drugs, and you're taking advantage of the side effect of those drugs, and you're trying to get pussy, honestly, right? It's mostly dudes that do this stuff, and it's I mean, you see them do it to dudes often, but most of the time that I've seen it, it's weird dudes doing it to chicks. It's magicians. It's magicians essentially showing tricks to try to get some. That's what they're doing. You're not doing it just for the, oh, look at the art of it. You're doing it just to try to get some, essentially, right? At least based on my scientific studies of going to festivals and seeing it done. It's mostly done, dudes, on girls that are fucked up. And it's the equivalent of dudes showing chicks card tricks. That's how I feel.
To compete in tournaments where they can win cash and
What's
free
happening?
swag. Dallas and Zakarian say they can make a few $100s a month, which helps pay the rent, among other things. But gloving has had its setbacks.
Everyone loves a party, but ER doctors in Los Angeles say giant dance parties known as raves go too far.
I also love that news has to be very white about everything they do, right? That's something they really haven't. Well, maybe they have, and I'm just being ignorant. But where they have like the newscaster voice, they should do the opposite and have really ghetto people read the news, but with the production quality of a news station. I think that would be interesting, and people would get views on that. But for this in particular, I love how they really make it seem. There's this thing called raving. There's a thing where people, large masses of people gather. It's this event that they call raving, and they call themselves ravers. Who is this 4chan? That's the sort of vibe you get from these people. But it's tremendous to listen to.
Too far.
In 2010, a 15-year-old died of complications from MDMA at Electric Daisy Carnival in Los Angeles. In response, the next year, festivals banned gloves and microlights from their functions. Brian Lim, founder of Amazing Lights, established the International Gloving Championship that year to help prove that it's more than just a hobby for people who like to trip.
I just want to say I'm extremely
Oh my God, I
proud.
thought I fucking dropped my table there. Anything you do in life, there's always going to be an Asian that's better at it than you. So just keep that in mind, right? So in this entire thing, I'm like, oh, who's going to be the one in charge of this? It's an Asian guy. So of course, if there's something that you're doing in life, there's always going to be an Asian that's better at it than you because they're just superior. They're just better than us in every single way. So just keep that in mind if you're ever trying to practice or if you're ever trying to do something, right? So keep that as you do it. The sad part is, a certain number of losers think this actually may increase their chances of sexual participation. Little finger painting simps. Wow, dude. That I think you copied and pasted that from your post in the incel forum. That's what it sounds like, right? The next one is going to be the a comment on how you're black pilled. I don't know if you're familiar with black pilling as a PigCake community, but it's the idea. You could look it up, right? You could look it up. Gloving does sound like a dirty thing frat guys do to each other at the parties when no girls show up. Yeah, but here's the thing about those frat parties, right? From my understanding, it's like a club. You got to get ratio, right? So you got to have the right ratio. You got to, for every one guy, you have to bring in 4 girls to those gross frat parties. And I've been exposed to this because of TikTok, right? And what I love is that you see both. You see people making fun of these frat parties, and then you actually see the frat parties, and it's almost the same thing. You don't know which one's real and which one's not. Obviously, the ones that are parody are a little bit more exaggerating of the qualities of the party, but you still can't tell because you watch the real ones, and it's these frat bros that really do get pressed about the most minuscule of things, but they act all tough and huff and puff, so you don't know which one's which. So if you're ever watching that on TikTok, I suggest to look it up. It's really funny. Michael J. Fox would be the best glover. I don't think so. I get the joke, right? I get the joke there, and I hate to break it down, but because he has the shakes, but there's no shakes here. It's this fluid action. So you're trying to be fluid with the gloving process. But let's finish up this video and show you the comment, which really got my gear ground. It really got grounded my gear. I'm really full of ebonics this episode. I apologize. I'm not going to apologize for that, though.
How the community came together for this epic event.
Tell me about IGC. So you started it, why?
So one of the reasons is to really legitimize the art and sport of gloving. You can't really legitimize it by showcasing it at a rave. And when we showcase judges, sponsors, and you see the true passion behind it, you can really tell that it's not just a bunch of kids on drugs.
I mean, that's
Gloving
what it is.
competitions are unsettlingly intimate. Glovers crouch in front of each other and trade light shows, improvising moves to 90-second bursts of dance music.
When judging a gloving competition, what do you look for? What's the most important thing?
In a gloving competition, the most important thing to look for is musicality. Because there's different aspects to each match that you can judge, from pacing to speed control to transitions to like flow and tech. Musicality is something that kind of brings your light show together. A story has a beginning, middle, and end, and if you
and you're missing the number one component, drugs. Oh no, the musicality is the most important. No, you have to give them drugs in order for them to be like, yeah, this is cool. Yeah, this is all right. I like this. They avoid that. They avoid talking about that, even though it's a necessary component of their art form. I'll give it to at least cardisters. You don't need drugs, right? You could just go, oh, all right, that's kind of cool. You took time to do that and practice that. But they're making it seem like, oh no, it's about the art of the... No, it's not. It's about entertaining people that are on loads of drugs, right? I'd love to argue with one of these people. Go, no, dude, it's just the art, man. Come on, man. What are you being a bully about it, man? What are you fucking being a elitist? It's just not understanding. No, I do, and it's retarded. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. Fuck it. I'm not sorry. It's retarded. Come at me. I'm not gonna like Jay Sankey when he called the glorified fidget spinning. I'm not apologizing. Cardistry is glorified fidget spinning. Come at me. Come at me, cardister. What are you gonna do? Huh? What are you gonna say to me? Oh, you do magic tricks. Yeah, I know. I know it's gay. So what are you gonna... Oh, you're gonna write a nasty comment on Instagram because I made fun of cardistry? Or you're gonna say something because of gloving? I want to find the nearest... I can't be making these jokes because of the amount of incidents that have been taking place in schools as of late. So I can't be making those jokes anymore.
In a light show, then you're missing out on like key aspects of gloving.
Brian Lim says he wants the future of gloving to look like esports or skateboarding. He wants leagues all over the world with glovers earning tens of...
Okay, I want to kill myself. But, so the comment that I was referring to here is Dr. Doolittle Fish Hobbyist says, yo, brother, long time no see. Hope you're keeping well. I appreciate that, Dr. Doolittle Fish Hobbyist. I really would have hoped that by this time you would become a fish professional. But I can only hope. PigCake always has the chat opinions. That's why I tune in. This dude thinks Top Notch doesn't know the black pill. I'm going to attain money over time and finally get out of my 20s and bake section market value at 65 because of my money. Okay, that's fucked. He called them vapid card jugglers. Vapid card jugglers. I agree. I'm gonna make shirts that say that now. Vapid card jugglers, come at me with your pipe arms. What are you gonna do? Right? Oh yeah, do you want to battle? That's the other one. I remember that back when XCM was a thing, extreme card manipulation, right? And people would battle. So they'd be doing, the different things, and they'd be seeing who could do more than the other person. You gonna battle me? I'll battle you. So this one's great, right? And this comment, I'm like, this guy sounds like he's, he has a little bit too much in it, right? It's a very, let's read the comment. It says, the amount of ignorance in these posts is amazing. Who are you to say what is or what isn't art? People do not understand the amount of dedication and dexterity it takes to pull off what these guys can do. Right? So it seems like this guy is definitely a glover. And I've looked at his account. He's definitely a glovist. People make friendships and family from this. People use this as an escape or as a way to deal with stress. You could say that about anything. You could say that particular thing. What if your escape is murdering babies? Right? You've made friends with other people that murder babies. You've made buddies, right? Oh, your friends and family, you guys get together and, we're going to murder babies. Right? So same thing with this. What if you use murdering babies to deal with stress? Same shit. So why I'm saying that like that's a point. There are thousands of people who do this sober. There are thousands of people who do not do it sober. Same goes for painting. Same goes for music. Same goes for any type of dance. People think this doesn't take you anywhere. I've made thousands of dollars. I even get to travel around the world, around the country for free because of gloving. Open your minds, everyone, and see that this isn't some hippie shit. And then preach it. Maybe they will understand when our community expands a little bit more. Because right now, we're just a bunch of kids on drugs in their eyes. These are the type of people to clown on people for listening to K-pop in high school. You should be clowned if you listen to K-pop in high school. You should be clowned. Okay, so this guy injects his own thing. Like, this is like the people that clown on the people that poop their pants, right? Right? You know what I'm saying? No, dude. No, don't interject your own shit onto this. I've done it before. I get some people's dedication, but I live in a different life where gloving has become pointless. This guy's very negative about it, Roy Hawk. But then you look at his account, and he's definitely a glovist. But it's the same thing. How funny is it? My escape is whenever PigCake removes his hat, then I could finally breathe, says PigCake's forehead. God fucking damn it. But yeah, so it's the same thing as magic, right? So it's a funny thing because we always assume, oh man, fuck, we're in our little bubble, we're in our little world. But then you start expanding to other things and you start seeing the virginity on all these other things, right? And speaking of that, I know I mentioned on the podcast that I was on for Penguin Magic, we talked about that on it, and it's out if you want to listen to it. Let's just Google Penguin Magic podcast, and you could hear your boy talk about virginity, break down what virginity is, right? To somebody who got offended at what virginity is, right? I had to explain what virginity is, which is loving something too much to the point where it's affecting your own life. Right, so there's virginity for everything. I found virginity in cigars. There's a lot of virginity in that community. There's a lot of virginity absolutely everywhere, right? In music, in voice, in art, there's virginity everywhere. And in magic, it's also there too. Because in magic, look what we have. We have nothing but people going, oh, it's just the art. You have people like this leaving comments, but for magic, right? So even the baby killers, if you're a baby killer and you're trying to baby kill to reduce stress, then this guy has your back because he's making the same argument that you would make. So when it comes to this, I think that glovers are worse than magicians. I think that glovers are worse than cardists. And I finally found something that's worse than that. I thought I would never in my life find something that would be worse than cardistry, right? And you see the conventions, and yes, all right, listen, what they do is cool. All right, some of the things they do is cool. You have some weird cuts and shit. I get it. It's interesting, right? You're finding new ways to do stuff. I remember seeing this video not so long ago was guys doing like a trick in the middle of the cut. And I'm like, well, that's kind of dope, right? He changes one card to another. I'm like, damn, all right, that's kind of dope, right? But do it for an hour, right? Do it for 30 minutes, right? You get tired pretty quickly. So you see that there's a limit in that. So I'm not okay. I'm always afraid every time I hear a fucking ambulance or something. I'm like, oh, great. All right, let's see where this goes. But luckily it drove by. But it's definitely glorified fidget spinning. It's 100% vapid card jugglers. And I'm not taking it back. I'm not apologizing. And same thing with gloving. Gloving is way worse than cardistry. The escape from life example, like when people say this is literally murdering babies, like what I'm saying is, I've said this before today, I'm getting deja vu. Is anything even real? Seek? I've never seen that word before. Respite? You're really using these $10 words today. It's cool for about 30 seconds. I agree. It's cool for 30 seconds. And then after that, you go, whoa, what's this? I don't know. I'm kind of bored already looking at whatever it is you've done because it just becomes the same thing. It becomes repetitive. Let's go through here. Let's see if I've missed any comments that were interesting. Manel says this is actually retarded. I agree. Gloving seems entirely reliant on one drugged people, giving me Bill Cosby vibes. But what I love about it is that the community is they're trying to push the narrative of no, it's not about drugs, right? People do it and they're not drugged out. Yeah, but it's started by people doing it for drug people, and then eventually you realize, oh, we could actually monetize this and make competitions and then have it be something like a sport. But it started that way, and it's still predominantly used for entertaining essentially what are drugged up fucks. So it's not really an art in the sense of you're getting maximum enjoyment when you're doing it to sober people. It's literally something that was created for its use to enhance the experience of you being under drugs. So I don't understand the virginity about it. But yeah, so I saw that at the festival. And the worst part is that this festival wasn't essentially a tiki festival. It wasn't EDM music. You had Weezer close out the show. Fucking Weezer, which was an atrocity in itself. You had indie pop rock bands, right? Walk the Moon was the one that I was looking forward to until they only performed for 25 minutes. The fuck? And that's when you realize, oh, it's a money grab. You guys are taking money from us. That's essentially what that was. So I saw this. I saw this being done at what essentially is a combination. A Lil Nas X, right? That's kind of rap. So imagine this at like anything other than a dance festival. So people were doing that to Weezer. They were gloving to Weezer. The fuck? You know, Weezer's old when we took an Uber to the venue, and the guy's about 55 years old, and he goes, yeah, man, I just love Weezer. Like, all right, okay, so this is the clientele for Weezer, and people are gloving to Weezer. What? That's when you know. Cardistry is like a soccer player who's able to do some tricks, but isn't good enough to play in a team. Well, it's the same thing with like the N1 guys, but the N1 guys are good for basketball, right? They do all the trick shots and stuff. Maybe the Harlem Globetrotters would have been a better example. Mind you, I say make fun of all this cardistry shit when I just put a cardistry on my Instagram. Let's see how it looks like on a big screen. Let's see. PigCake 69 Instagram, right? Let's see. PigCake 69. So mind you, I just put some I'm a massive hypocrite, right? That's the other part. So let's go here. I think I could show this. Oh, you have to be logged on to see it. Whoa, thank you, Instagram. I appreciate that. But I did a bit of cardistry on my fucking Instagram after talking so much shit about cardistry. But the thing is that, you know what? At least here, I'm acknowledging that there's something that exists that's worse than cardistry, which is gloving. So gloving is definitely worse than cardistry. And if you're a glover, if you know a glover, or maybe, you know, somehow your brother's a glovist, or maybe someone in your family is a glovist, I'd love to talk to you. I'd love to figure out what makes you tick, because that to me is fascinating, right? Like, I've always wanted to interview one of these people that do the demon stuff, right? That leave the demon comments. And I've asked several of them. I'm like, hey, man, what's up, dude? Like, do you want to talk about it? Like, let's do a stream and let's talk about your beliefs here, about how you think that I'm doing demon magic by doing double lifts. Oh, no. You are covering for the demons by doing manual techniques. That's how you do it. You're covering. No, okay, so you're just making shit up at this point. But they never respond. They never respond to me. I've sent a couple of them messages, and then they just ignore it. Right? I go, dude, what? Explain yourself. Like, come on, you made a comment here. I've been cursed several times. I've been voodooed a couple times, right? Or people tell me, oh, you know, you're gonna have this happen to you, or something's gonna happen to you that's going to hurt you because of the comment you've left. So that's the type of vibe that I get from these people, and I want to interview them. Same thing with glovists. I want to do a stream. That'd be a fun stream, right? An interview with a glovist. You guys could submit your questions, right? I'll ask them. You know, I'm not gonna. I think it'll be a pretty upfront interview, right? Like, hey, dude, do you know what you do is pretty gay? Are you aware of that? And see what they say. I think that'll be a pretty interesting. And then maybe he might change my mind. He might change my mind. I've been changing my mind recently on Gibrizzi, right? I used to be on the anti-Gibrizzi bandwagon, but here's what I've realized. I don't like the magic community, right? I'm not a huge fan of the magic community. Gibrizzi's also not a huge fan of the magic community. And the stuff he puts out there is kind of indicative of that, right? So we're in agreement about the magic community. We're part of that. We're part of that belief system. So anytime I see Gibrizzi's comments where you go, oh, magic is dead, here's top 5 reasons, right? Yeah, okay, maybe his points were retarded, but the overall message is something I'm in agreement with, because magicians suck for the most part, right? Yes, there's magicians that don't suck. They're great. But, you know, there's still a vast majority of them that do suck. And I agree with Gibrizzi on that. So I feel like, yeah, if we have our debate now, I might just be in agreement most of the time for his for that particular conversation, right? Before I would have just picked out things. Oh yeah, okay. Here's why you're wrong about this. The metrics are retarded because I don't know what metrics you use, but if you look at Google Analytics, you see that magic is being searched now more than ever. There's television shows dedicated to just magic. You know, people on these talent shows are getting millions, if not billions, of views doing their stuff. Penn and Teller fool us. There's more magic on TV now than ever, and there's more magic on online media now than ever. So to say magic is dying because of that, you're retarded. But if you were to come out and say magic is dying because magicians are killing it, all right, now you got an argument. Now you got an argument. Magicians are killing it because they're trying to be, they're trying to hide from the internet. They're trying to hide, oh no, man, the internet's killing magic. People are going to be more aware of it. Yeah, that's a good thing. Bring more people into the art, right? And then that way the art's going to expand, motherfucker. Gibrizzi replacing Daniel as the co-host of Ham Radio. I'm calling it now. Well, I mean, he hasn't reached out to me. Maybe I should reach out to him and say, hey, man, when do you want to have this conversation? And we could do it that way. But I think that it's going to be an hour long of me and him agreeing on a lot of things. Right. And I feel like before I might have approached it a little bit different and been like, oh, man, yeah, dude, you're an idiot. You're a joke in a Magic community. No, that's not going to be it anymore. I think it's going to be now me and what is agreement with him on a lot of points as to why Magic sucks, right? Or magicians suck. Holy shit, stereo sound. There you go, dog. Thank you. I figured it out. I did it. I figured it out beforehand, but I realized when Daniel plugged in his fucking microphone, of course, he fucked up my shit. It changed the setting back to mono. So I went back and I changed it. So now look at that. You're getting the sound from both sides, right? You're getting a nice stereo. Maybe what I should do is I should do like a what do you call this? A surround audio. So depending on where my voice is coming from, you hear it on whatever side. I don't know how to do that. Remember when Gibrizzi made his own Yeezys? Yeah, there are certain things that he does that's kind of, I would say, spectrum stuff. Like he had that fashion bit that he put on his Instagram a while ago where it looked honestly like somebody made it in Microsoft Paint, right? Like the merch, and he goes, yeah, here's my merch. And then a couple years ago, he made his own Yeezys. And I get like, okay, you made Yeezys, but you made a parody of Yeezys. I get that, right? Like that would be funny. Like, okay, here are these shoes that are popular. Everybody's buying them. So I'm going to come up with my own type of Yeezys, but make it apparent that it's a parody. No. He came out with knockoff Yeezys with his name on it. Which makes me think, I'm like, oh, okay. Sometimes I'm like, okay, he's a character. This is a thing. It's a bit. He's trying to get all of us to be upset. But then I see stuff like that. And I'm like, that's too terrible not to be for real. Like, oh, you see that it worked for him, and then you're trying to copy that, but with a magic twist. Like, that's not funny. It would have been funny if you did something that made it obvious. Like you made for example, you produce Yeezys, but they're so fake that it's obvious that they're fake, but that's the message that you're trying to portray. See, that would be interesting, right? But no. So, I'm on the fence. Did I see a
Bing bong?
Bing bong? I hear that probably a 1,000 times a day. Whatever happened to Cyril Takayama? I don't know. But he's among my list of magicians that if they put their hand on my thigh, I just let whatever happen. Right? Cyril's one of those. If he grabbed my leg, I'd be like, well, I guess this is it. We're gonna do this. I'm trying to think of other magicians. Louis Laval. I just left a comment on the World Magic Review saying that if Louis Laval put his hand on my thigh, it'd go down for sure. Notice I'm naming all male magicians, which shows you how progressive I am, right? A lot of people accuse me of being he's a racist right-wing magician. No, that's progressive, right? If a male magician puts his hand on my thigh, what conservative would say that? Nobody. No conservative would admit to sexual relations with another man, right? But I have no shame in that. Because of how progressive my views are.
Bing bong.
Right? I just got used to swizzle my chisel. Now I got to learn a new language. Opinions on Shin Lim. I'm a fan. I'm a fan of Shin Lim, and I think he did a lot of good for the Magic community. He brought it back to the mainstream. Right? Shin Lim was one of these internet magicians that started off, teaching on YouTube, started off doing magic tricks on YouTube, and then he's gotten mainstream attention and he's fucking loaded. He's made a very good living doing this stuff now, and really brought magic back to the mainstream in the sense of the internet age, right? So I think he's a great thing for magic. I don't know him personally, but I've been told, that he's a good guy. He's not like an asshole. So there's that. Let's see. Who's that person behind a green screen next to the closet? Who's that person behind a green screen next to the closet? Are you talking about that right there? Oh, next to the closet would be here. I'm a retard, by the way. I'm pointing at it with my mouse, thinking that you could see my mouse. But here, are you talking about this? Don't say that there's a person there, because several people have perished in this particular apartment. And if that happens and I see something, I'm just probably going to live in a street, to be honest. Let's go through here. I guess it's the comment section of the video, right? So we've gone through the main meat and potatoes of the stream, which is gloving and glovists being terrible people. So now this is the interactive part. This is the part that I like, right? Where I get to maybe get video topics from the PigCake community. Hey, look, have you heard about this? What's your this? What's your take on that? Do you think eugenics is a viable option? You know, things like that we can go back and forth on. This is the part that I enjoy about the stream. So I need to make like an overlay for that.
No touching without consent.
Nice. Okay, so I need to make an overlay for that. But I'm not sure what happened to Cyril. I know that I went on a tangent on Cyril having sex with me, but I don't know what happened to Cyril. Let's see this one. Let's go through this. You know what's funny is if Gibrizzi had an argument of any kind with someone, regardless of how respectful it might be, there would be fans dunking on the other guy in the comments. Well, the Shazam one is a great example of that. Right, the Shazam one's a great example where it's like, wow, this is disgusting. I can't believe he used that language. Yeah, but he did what he wanted to do, which is get you upset. So he won that. He won that argument because he did what he had to do, and he came in there with a goal, and the goal was to incite the community and get this get the podcast host upset. And you know what? He got it. He did it. He won that, and he made some dumb points, but you know. Doesn't matter if you win the argument by having the other person have an emotional reaction. So technically, he won that. And you had all the people in the comments going, whoa, it's disgusting. This is awful. So that's, he got exactly what he wanted. Luis Laval and Daniel Madison. I don't know if Daniel Madison, he looks like a dirty guy, right? If he put his hand on my thigh, I'd probably swat it away. I wouldn't be like, hey, man, let's see where this goes. I'd just be like, dude, come on. Stop it. Stop it. I don't want it. Remember the Gibrizzi retention Vanish? It was part of the coin slipe project he sold for $30. Yeah, that's the other one, right? The other part that I'm like, oh, okay. So, you know, like the magic is really not there. But for him, you know, he's making a living doing it, which is kind of the crazy part. Even if he's faking making a living off of magic, you still need money to have the fakery that he's doing. Right, so let's assume that his whole persona is fake, and he's faking, you know, oh, look, I bought this custom Tesla, I have this crew that I pay, I have all this equipment, I bought this camera stuff, I'm doing this podcast. If he's faking that, that still takes money because you're renting out the shit. That's not cheap, right? So he still's making an income enough to fake it. If he's doing it for real, then good for him, but I don't know how, honestly. I really don't. Because you don't see him promoting stuff. You don't see him doing sponsor shit. So I don't know where that money came from. Maybe it came from projects, but every time he's done a Kickstarter, it's failed. There's some weirdness going on there. I don't know where it is, but there's some weirdness going there. Let's see. Did you see Peter Turner name dropped you in the acknowledgement section of How to Read Minds? Well, I had a Magic Orthodoxy be like, hey, man, look at that. Turner be out here thanking you and shit. I'm like, all right, thank you for that, man. I'm surprised you didn't thank me for, you know, hey, dude, thank you for all the work you do for the little people community. So I'm surprised at that. Dude, I've been trying to go back and forth with you on a particular topic for literally 5 years. There you go. Yeah. See, that's the first comment. That was a callback, Top Notch. That was a callback to Top Notch of 4 years ago, leaving a comment. Look at that, 4 years ago. Now we're getting into doing this for 6 years. Do you feel bad today? I have a slight headache. Oh, that's funny. He aspires to be a YouTuber like you. Let's see where this comes from. Jesus, I feel like this is going to be a fucking... every time I get these texts, I'm like, all right, I already know I'm getting made fun of here. Tremendous. Fuck. But no, okay. Or am I thinking a different one? I don't do coins. What are you referring to? Wow, $30? Let's look that up. Let's look up Gibrizzi Coin Project and see what it is that you're talking about. Okay. Gibrizzi Coin Project. If you know the name, please let me know so I could look it up. Gibrizzi Coin maybe Gibrizzi Coin Vanish, right? I gotta stop using fucking Bing. So here's how to do coins appearing magic trick in your hands. Fuck this fucking microphone. God, fuck. Okay, hopefully it doesn't make a noise every time it does this. It does make a noise. Okay, so this might be the video. Let's go on YouTube. I can't even see the dislikes, so I don't know if this is it. But is this where he does a coin vanish? Make a coin appear and then vanish. Is this the one you're referring to here? Let's see. Is this the one you're referring to? Let's see. At the risk of sounding cheesy, you're an inspiration. I hope you continue doing what you're doing. Perfect basic magic trick. So these are positive, right? Unless you deleted the other one. So coin trick starts at this. Let's see if this is the one that you're talking about. Right? I hate ring lights, by the way. I fucking hate them. I don't know if he's using one here, but it has the overexposed look of that. Okay, are you... Let's see. Okay, so hold up. Hold up, let's see what's happening. Okay, so he's doing a downs vanish, which is appropriate. That was a good joke. So he said a retention. Oh, wow. Yeah, that's fucking... Okay. That's actually cancer. Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. I guess that's it. That's what you're referring to, right? PigCake is the YouTube version of Paul Harris. I don't do drugs, though. I don't do a copious amount of drugs. So I would say that I'm not the YouTube version of Paul Harris. Although I did watch a lot of YouTube videos of his old stuff. Somebody put up like his really old projects on YouTube a little while ago, and I watched those. And he's fucking funny. Like, he's hysterical. The way he performs and explains stuff. It's fucking hysterical. It was called Silver Wonders. I DM'd you on an incomplete playlist a while ago, back through Instagram. God damn it. I can't believe I missed that. I'm sorry, man. Blame all the people that send me messages asking me for decks of playing cards as to why I don't respond faster on Instagram. Yeah, that's pretty terrible. I don't know if this is the one you were referring to. Fuck! Okay. What's this? Remember? Oh, okay, so it was you that said it, Bill Goldberg. So it said Silver Wonders. Let's see if I could find that. So let me go here, right? So I could do the research in the background. Silver Wonders... Gibrizzi. Mind you, we're here looking at this guy, but he's gonna be my buddy. Gibrizzi is gonna be my friend soon enough, and I think we're gonna agree on everything when we have a conversation. I can't find it. No, I looked up Silver Wonders Gibrizzi. Maybe if I do it on Google and not Bing, it's gonna be better. Okay, Silver Wonders Gibrizzi. Wow, I was really mad about Gibrizzi, yada, yada, yada. Nope. No, there's none here that I could see about that. I guess maybe he took it down, or maybe you're misremembering the name, right? Yeah, Gibrizzi does use the Egyptian symbology quite a lot on that. One thing on the festival, too, which is kind of interesting, we're talking to some girls about the Swedish House Mafia, and one of them's like, oh, you have you're Egyptian. I'm Egyptian, too. I'm like, oh, yeah, that's cool. And then we walked away, and then they're like, oh, hey, come on, let me get your Instagram or your Snapchat. And I'm like, God. That's how you know. That's how you know. It's like, oh, I'm good. All right. When somebody asks for your Snap or your Instagram, they're too young. That's the rule. If they don't say, hey, man, let me get your number, right? Maybe Instagram and Snap is like a more impersonal way of getting somebody's information that's not as personal as a phone number. But I think at this point it's become the same thing. But that you hear that, I'm like, oh, right, fuck, great. Yeah, good to know. Good to know that I'm too old if you're asking me, hey, let me get your Snap. He took it down, but the unlisted videos are still up. Can you send them to me? Can you send them to me? Let me see if I could do this in the background, right? Bill Goldberg, if that's a real Bill Goldberg. But send it to me on my Instagram if you can, so we could do this live. But yeah, that's as a budding virgin, that's a terrible coin vanish. And the fact that he got a lot of good comments saying, dude, that's great, man. That's really good. I like that. I like the way you did that. Then, you're on the spectrum. You're on a spectrum. I'm sorry to be the one to tell you that. I know your parents are trying to avoid that conversation because they don't want it to be official. But as a person who has experience in that field, I think I could point him out. But yeah, Bill Goldberg, if you're still around, send me that playlist on Instagram. Or you know what? Let me look for your comment. Let me see if you send it to me here. I hate that on Instagram you can't look it up, right? Yeah, like I can't look up comments. Like their search is really shit. So let's go see if I can find your shit. Gibrizzi, that's funny. I sent Gibrizzi a message forever ago, and he hasn't responded. So I guess it's on his court. It's not on my court. No, I can't. I don't know if I could find it here. I'm going through this. So Bill Goldberg, if you got it, let me know, man. Who the fuck is that? Oh, God fucking damn it. Okay. Not as a girl, we tend to ask for Insta social media so we could do a background check to make sure you're not a creep before we get to know you. There you go. Okay. All right. There you go. So that's a good enough reason. But if I get that, it lets me know that you're too young for me. If you ask me, hey, let me get your snap. I'm like, oh, why you gotta do that to me? At 2? Why you gotta do that to me, man? Ask for the snap. But the phone number, I think the phone number is being, you know what? It might just be me feeling old or being old to the point where I see that as the young thing to do. But honestly, I think it's becoming more normal. Like it's just becoming more normal to ask somebody, hey, let me get your Instagram, let me get your Snapchat, as opposed to getting your phone number. So that might be the new phone number. I might just be an old retard about it. But that's definitely a good reason as to why to do it. He should rename it the Drop the Down Syndrome Vanish. That's good, T-Perm. Thank you for that. Thank you for that wonderful input. And Bill Goldberg's apparently fucking gone. I've been waiting for this video, Bill. But I guess we're not going to see it on this stream. We might just have to push that to the Sunday stream as far as that. But that coin vanish was enough for me to question my entire existence as an individual. And that's coming from somebody who hates magic, right? But even me just DM'd it. Okay, thank you, Bill. So let's check this bitch out. Okay. I don't know. Oh, there you go. Bill Goldberg. Okay, Silver Wonders playlist. Okay, so I have to, and I love the picture that I see of myself, by the way, is this. When I look up our chat here, is me looking like Vsauce Michael, essentially. So let me go on my Instagram here, which I have to open up Chrome for, because that's where I'm logged in, and then copy and paste that. This is what I have to do in order to avoid having, what do you call this, massive computer usage, CPU usage. Okay, so copy. Let me get out of Chrome before it blows my fucking computer up. Let's go to Bing. Sorry, let's go to Edge, right? Which is a fun practice, by the way. I recommend edging yourself if you're ever bored. So this is a playlist, right? Which one in particular do you want me to check out here, Bill? Let's go see if I could do this. Did I log out of everything? Yeah, okay. So which one here? So this is an unlisted playlist, Silver Wonders, from July 2021. Okay, so this isn't that far away. So the approach and coin on hand. Let's see the retention vanish. Maybe this is the one that you were talking about. Yep. That's it.
So let's turn the retention vanish. Absolutely one of the great.
Okay. That's fucking gangster as shit. Okay. That's pretty gangster. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, if you look closely, you could see that the coin is not in this hand. But only if you look closely. That's really fucking rough. That's really rough. Not to name drop, but I'm just shot a video for the Academy today. That's a nice Goshman retention. Not a retention, a Goshman false transfer. And I might put it up as a free video next week. I might do that as my free patron video, right? I like to now because I'm trying to market and trying to advertise, right? As I should have been doing. So I'm gonna drop 2 videos every month from Patreon, right? Like just put them public. So I might just put that one next week. But I want to see. Let's hear it.
Types of vanishes that you can do because people will not see it coming. So the secret move here is essentially types of vanishes that you can do because people will not see it coming. So the secret move here is essentially the fingers are hiding, these fingers are hiding the coin, and the skin in the thumb is pushing in the coin. So if we take this and place the coin right into our hand, and we use our thumb, and we push with our hand the coin to go into the fingertips and close our hands up, you'll see how the retention looks. So if you do it all in one full motion, here, as the fingers come up, and you pull your hands away, you can put it into finger palm if you want, give it a blow, it's gone. So I'll break that down one more time. So, the flesh of the thumb, or this muscle.
If I get a diamond tester, I'm gonna go to Magic Live, right? And I know that he's based in Las Vegas, so I'm gonna go to Magic Live, and I'm gonna get a diamond tester, and I'm gonna take it to him. And I hate saying that because if he just so happens to watch this, then he knows that I'm coming, so he might just actually bust out the real stuff. But I want to diamond check the shit out of this. I want to diamond check that swag.
Here in the thumb.
But okay, now that I hate to be a virgin, I hate to be a virgin about this, but you got to use a silver coin for retention of vision, because the name retention of vision implies that there's a retention of the coin that remains in their vision, which gives it the illusion of staying in the hand, right? So you need a silver coin, which is going to get the glare from whatever light source there is, and that's what gives the retention of vision that the coin has remained in the hand even after the transferring. That's why it's called a retention vanish. When you're doing it with a poker chip that's matte, you don't see the retention. So it's not really a retention vanish because nothing is retaining. Nothing is retaining. And also,
it's going to push.
You push the coin openly in the hand with your thumb, and then you close your hand around it. So anybody, Ray Charles could see that, and he's black, dead. I've been using that joke for way too long now.
In the coin as the fingers come up.
Yeah, that's not a retention
have the
vanish.
coin in finger palm, pull it away, give it a blow, squeeze, and it's gone.
Nice.
And one fluent motion, it should look something like this.
You said a fluent motion. Okay.
Here, gone. And people really in their heads believe as if the coin has vanished. And it's absolutely amazing, because it fools them every single time. And that is the retention vanish.
It's not real. That's not real. That's not real. That's he's joking. He's joking, and I'll tell you why. Because there's no way that he could put that and knowingly say that without it being a parody. Like, he has to be a joke. And for that, I think he's the best person alive. But if it's for real, boy, that's rough. Let's look at this one. Review.
What's going on? My name's Alex from Nashville, Tennessee. I actually just finished Gibrizzi's Magic Coin Silver Wonders course. I've taken his Magic Card course before, and I learned so much that I was so excited to really add a lot more magic to my skill set. In the Silver Wonders course, you're going to be learning the skills necessary to pull off these tricks, as well as the magic that will blow your friends' minds away, all with just the change in your hand. I'm a videographer by trade, so my life can get pretty hectic, but the great thing about Gibrizzi's videos is that they're short and easy to digest. He also shows you how to do these tricks in the simplest, easiest ways possible, making it, the fastest learning you can possibly have. If you're someone who's been interested in magic, or you already know magic and you just want to add more to your belt, this is perfect for you. Check out the Silver Wonders course from Gibrizzi today.
What?
This magic course, Silver Wonders, is absolutely amazing. I've always loved card magic and cards, but I recently got into coins and more sort of technical sleight of hand, and this course really helped me learn new things and reinforce concept that I've learned earlier. The videos are entertaining and very informative. My favorite thing I learned was the coin under watch. I always thought about doing something like that, but then to see it firsthand and then be taught how to do it, that was just something else. This course.
Yo,
is
that first
10 out of
review
10.
though, this one feels authentic. Believe it or not, I don't know why. I get an air authenticity here, The first one here looked absolutely fucked, but they're on his own channel. They're on the channel of the project. So then what's the function if they're unlisted? I don't understand what the point is. If you're putting it on the you're putting the review so people could watch the review and go, all right, let me buy the product. But if you put the review unlisted on the, nobody's gonna. Okay, let's see this one here, and I think that's the last one that I could tolerate.
Welcome. Let's go ahead and get into another.
The reason I want to see this one is now he used a silver coin. So why would you use this? Oh fuck! I hate to be a virgin. But if you're using a JW grip, right, which is a coin that you're using a silver coin, which gets glare, right, you'd be better off using a poker chip that doesn't get glare, right, using the JW grip Vanish. So why would now that you're showing something that would be worse if you have a fucking... Okay, so Bill Goldberg says the videos were embedded in the product page. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so at least that has a reason. But you would use a poker chip so that there's no light, right? So that there's no light that reflects off the coin for this particular demo. But now use a silver coin. But use a poker chip for the retention Vanish.
Used sometimes in Magic, which is called JW's grip. Now, JW's grip is a grip where a coin is taken and placed into a fashion. JW's grip is a grip where a coin is taken and placed. JW's grip is a grip where a coin is taken and placed.
That's not what he said. He didn't say taken. YouTube. He said token. Is that racist of me? Is that racist of me to point out? Oh.
JW's grip. Now, JW's grip is a grip where a coin is taken and placed into a fashion like such, seemingly showing an empty hand, and you can produce a coin. Now, I'm going to go ahead and show you how you can get into JW's grip.
I want to see how he gets into it.
Let's go ahead and imagine as if we place the coin on our hands just like so. If we slide the coin all the way up to our index finger, we'll know if we curl in our...
Okay, but I want to see it in function.
See,
okay, that's the grip, but show... Okay.
Above, away to the influence, just like that.
Okay, so let's see how he gets into it.
Wrist movement, it looks like it came out of nowhere. Literally, it looks as if we just is also used as a Vanish sometimes. So let's say we have a coin at our fingertips. We presented it and wanted to make it vanish and make it reappear. Maybe we wanted to just show it at the fingertips and give it a blow, make it reappear.
Okay, that's not real. That's a product that he sold. I find that really hard to believe because I think I know what's going on and nobody else sees it but me. This is not a real person. It's a parody. It's a character designed to not only make money, but also designed to get magicians upset. And that proves it. That proves it. Because you can't look at that video and say, oh, that looks good. So you're looking at the angle, right? And you're going, yeah, you can make it really look like it's vanishing. And you can't do that while doing it that way where anybody could see where it goes and then say fools everyone. Or do the retention and go fools them all the time. Like the things he says are so good because it has to be a character. It has to be a parody of what a magician is. And you know what? I'm all for it. But if it isn't, then I think we have a case study as to what could potentially be the most retarded person in the planet. I think. I don't know. Might be. But either way, that was a fucking shit show and hysterical to watch. So thank you, Bill Goldberg, for providing that. I'll be looking through that. And you know what? I might make a review. I might do a review of his Silver Wonders set. Because if this is it, then I think I might just do one. And maybe 4 people are going to get it. But you know what? Those 4 people are going to laugh. They're going to be tooken by their laugh. Fuck. But let's see if there's any comments, and then I think we'll end this here. PigCake's forehead, just you don't use me for your JW grip or you'll flash. Yeah, because you could see the reflection from the coin on my massive fucking forehead. God damn it, PigCake's head. They be sucking some Gibriness. No way that fools anyone. Wait, that's actually Gibrizzi. Just DM'd it. All right. We're in the Snapchat stuff. That's from before. Dude, I don't know. PigCake definitely going back and forth between denying it's not an act and accepting it's an act. PigCake's internal monologue watching. This has to be gold. It has to be. Well, to me, it's perfect, right? It's a perfect parody. But if it isn't a perfect parody, then it's a perfect case study as to what, I don't know, thalidomide does to a child, right? Like to what having when your parents are cousins does to a child. Because there's no way. There's no way. But if it is a parody and he's doing all that on purpose, then it's so good. It's the best thing ever. It's perfect because you can't, like, you're doing stuff shittily, but just good enough that enough people might say, oh, that's good. That looks decent, right? People that are also like that. So it's right there in that fine area. But man, it's perfect. But you know what? I think that's it. Right, that's the video. Thank you guys for watching. This has been a fun one, right? We talked about gloving. We talked about various things. We talked about the Gibrizzi, Silver Dreams. Watch out for the review. Watch out for the review, right? Because the review's coming soon, right, of that particular product. I wish, you know, I'm going to have to look at the Wayback Machine and see if I could find the original product page for that and see what's up with that. But boy, man, that took me by surprise. Man, I almost knew there. Boy, I just want to talk in all Ebonics for that review. So I have to script it out. But thank you guys for watching this, man. This was fun. Talked about gloving, talked about Gibrizzi, talked about music festivals. Hopefully I do get a refund on that. That'll make me very happy because I feel molested by the party, by the festival. So I'll keep that maybe posted on the next stream. But apart from that, man, make sure to don't get tooken by surprise. Don't get tooken by surprise. That's my advice here at the end of the video. But see you on Sunday, my friend. See you on Sunday.